Hey everyone, and welcome back to another King Arthur Legends Rise video. So, we're kicking off 2025, guys, with some things that I'd like to see different in this game, or just some minor tweaks. I think the game has really surpassed my expectation. I really enjoyed it. I think it's doing a lot of great things, but there are some things that I do think can be changed, and it's kind of just a fun little video for me to interact with you guys and see what you guys might want changed or done a little bit differently. I doubt anyone from the developers sees this video or does anything about it, but hey, we're making it for fun. So without further ado, let's start talking about the things that I'd like to see changed. So the city building aspect of this game I actually really like. I think a lot of people find it tedious. I do not. I've never experienced this with other gacha games, so it's kind of refreshing to me. But I do think some things can be changed. And the first thing are the AFK awards. You have this in Mage's Tower, Plaza Fountain, and then the Relic Forge. I just think these can be way better. I think as you upgrade your buildings, you should get better rewards as you upgrade them, not just more rewards of a bad item. The Relic Forge is a great example of this. Like 13 of these common relic breaths is really bad, to put it lightly. These are worth 100 XP, which is just absolutely terrible. And I think as you upgrade your Relic Forge, you should be dropping at a minimum the uncommon relic breaths, which are the highest thing you can farm, which we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, once you upgrade it past like level 5 or something, uncommon relic breaths should start to drop, not just more of a bad thing. And that's really all you get, as you increase the level of this thing. So that's something that I would certainly like changed for the Relic Forge and the Mage's Tower. Like getting these uncommon seeds is not good. You should eventually be able to work up to a legendary at a minimum, and I would even argue like one mythic star seed, every 24 hours or something if it's level 10. The next thing about the city building is I would really love to see this Plaza Fountain change. Experience potions are so common. Like, I have so many of these, I'll never use them. I'll never use them because it's gated by gold. It's gated by, actually leveling up your characters to 6-star with other items like the mana orbs. It's just not needed. And you're farming them as you're farming gold out of Gorgos. So I think this is absolutely unnecessary. And if there was one change that the developers listen to on this video, is to change this Plaza Fountain to drop gold. That would be amazing. This is the bottleneck for a lot of players, is gold. So if you change the Plaza Fountain to drop gold instead of the XP potions, I think that would just be a huge change. Everyone would love that, I think. And it could be for like 50,000 gold or something every 24 hours. Like, it doesn't need to be a whole lot, but over time, that would make a big difference. And the more you level up your fountain, maybe you can get it up to 100,000 every 24 hours. That would be a huge change. The next things are the market and the forge. They only go up to level 5. So the market, when it's level 5, you do have the ability to drop some legendary like tomes or talismans. I think if you're able to level that up to level 10, you could eventually eliminate, some of these uncommon things that you don't really need, or the rare star seeds, stuff like that, like where you just have an abundance of them, and maybe it's just items that are going to be worthwhile. I know you can scale these up, like through the Mage's Tower, but it just costs so much gold that it's kind of inefficient at that point, considering how much of a bottleneck gold is. So from the market, I would love to see that scale up to level 10 and then just drop the legendary and rare talismans or books, because at that point you don't need uncommon books. And then for the forge, the thing that I would really like to see out of the forge is to reduce the amount of crafting materials needed, the higher the forge goes. So if you get up to level 10, maybe it cuts your forging requirements by like 25%, just to name a few things. Or, if they wanted to add some AFK things to the forge, maybe some of the, forge materials like these ingots. I think that'd be a really cool thing. So some minor things that I think could be done to the city building. Now, when it comes to Royal Road, I think these are really cool. I think they're nice for the rewards. The problem is the rewards in these things aren't really beneficial to players, and they're not going to help them progress. I think they should help them progress. Case in point is like 2-star gear. I don't know why this is here. If anything, this should just be forging materials. I think that's what it should be. It should be forging materials, or it should be gold, or it should be more gems. Things that you can use to acquire more energy. Stamina is another thing that they could put here. Stamina chests, the 50 stamina per chest. For some reason, the developers treat stamina like it is the rarest material in the world. I just don't get it. Like, you can only play the game for a certain amount of time. So I think switching up some of these items would be really good. The other thing that I don't understand is they give you forge materials in here, but they don't even give you enough forge materials to forge one time. Like, why is this 10? Why is it not 15? That's something that baffles me. So some slight tweaks to the items in here for newer players to just help them progress through the game. And then once they actually complete this, the fact that this is a rare to legendary hero is very frustrating. I think it should be a guaranteed. If you are able to complete this, you should get a legendary for doing it. It takes time. Same thing here. This should be a guaranteed legendary relic. It doesn't matter if it's a chance or whatever. The fact that it could be rare, I think, is a total waste. Same thing with Path of Challenges. But yes, all of these items in here they need tweaked. I think they need to be a little bit better. However, these paths are good. I like that they give people a direction and things, to, kind of shoot for and be like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to go here now. Oh, okay, I'm supposed to do this now to progress my account. So all of that is very good. And then, the same thing here, reaching Lumberyard 15 gets you 5 gold ingots. You need 15 ingots or 20 ingots to forge something. Like, why is this 5? So yeah, I think they should certainly do that. When it comes to the power-up guide, your dailies and stuff, your dailies and weeklies, I really don't have any comments here. I think this is fine. Some minor nuances is changing the XP potions, because again, you just have so many of them, whether this is gold or stamina chests for the weekly. I think that'd be great. But even if they don't change that, it's not even a big deal to me. The one change I would do to this is for the monthlies. I would like to see these material chests be a selector reward instead of a chance reward. I think that is certainly reasonable. You would get rid of the uncommons. You would have just legendary or rare. It depends on what people have, available to them. Or even if you wanted to get rid of the legendary and just have this be rare, right? And you can choose between which ingots you want, because there's 3 different types of ingots. One for, the left side of the gear, one for the right side, and then one for the keepsake. So having this be a selector, I think, would be really good for the players. And not too much of an ask, I don't think. So when it comes to the restricted area, I do have one comment on the power-up dungeon, and this is the Frozen Plain. I do not understand for the life of me why uncommon relic breaths are the only thing you can farm in here. On every other stage, like Penveed, Shrine of Storms, Burning Land is a little different just because the experience potions, you don't need them. So if you did need them, this would be a gripe of mine as well. But because you don't, it's fine. the gold does scale. But for Frozen Plain, for some reason, these relic breaths do not scale. The highest you can get is just uncommon. I don't know why that is. They should definitely increase the rarity of these uncommon relic breaths the higher you go up in stages. Because the issue is as you see here, I have 435 of these mythic starseeds, but it doesn't matter because I don't have enough of the relic breaths to actually level up my relics. So I'm kind of stuck. So I'd really like to see them scale that up. For some reason, they have a bunch of the like rarities and relics. I don't know if this is a future plan of theirs, but like divine relics, mythic relics, you can't farm these. You can't get them anywhere. So yeah, it's just odd. Like you even have rare relic breaths, legendary relic breaths. I don't know why you can't farm those in the Frozen Plain. It's just odd, and it makes everything extremely inefficient with the star seeds. Like this should be one of the harder things to get, and this should be just a supplementary kind of item, but it's backwards. So yeah, I don't really understand that, but anyway, that's something I would certainly change there. Now when it comes to the clan, first of all, big thumbs up to them. They changed the attendance rewards. It used to be 25 out of 25 was needed to get this last reward, and now they reduced it to 20. This was a huge, great change. I'm glad a lot of people complained about this, and they listened, and I thought they turned it around really quickly. So that's a plus. Some of the things that they need to change is certainly the raid level needs to go up. 24 gets completed so quickly, and then you have nothing to do. This should be one of the main things in the game. This should scale up to 100 or whatever, like it should be unlimited. And I think they should also include new bosses. You can include the equipment dungeon bosses in here. You can include, maybe some favor dungeon stages. I don't know. Like, it shouldn't just be the same 4 bosses. You should be able to rotate them. So I would love to see that changed. I think a lot of people have mentioned this, but yeah, I think that's, a gimme for sure. I really love the clan shop. I think the clan shop's great. Being able to get these relics for, these 3 individual heroes. You can get Arthur's Frost relic in here. You can get some items if you wanted them. Pedestals are huge. Storm relic summon tickets, the chests for lumber and iron. All of those things are really great. If I were to say one thing is I would like them to add stamina in here. And that's it. They added stamina to the arena shop, which I thought was huge. And they've included more stamina in some of the daily quests and weekly quests. So that's also really, really great. However, yeah, I'd like to see that. Maybe, there can be ways to increase your clan shop level. There's minor things. It's nothing that I really have too many gripes about, but just thought I would mention it. So the clan, I think, is pretty good. They are releasing a new clan mode, I think, with next patches update. So that's kind of exciting. We can review that when it's done. But for now, like I said, just some minor tweaks to things that already exist. Now, for the equipment dungeons, I think a lot of people think that they're too hard, and they might be. That's not really a gripe of mine. I think I like to work towards something. But the thing that I would like to see changed is I'd really like to see them reduce the amount of items that get dropped. They put such an emphasis on forging gear here, but they make it so hard to do. I don't know why that is. I think they're way too stingy with their items and thinking that people will have 5 years to play this game just to scale up to something. I think they're off base there. So if they're able to increase the amount of items that drop, I think would go a extremely long way for these equipment dungeons. But I like the difficulty of it. I like the mechanics. I think they still need to increase some of the viable heroes that could work in these dungeons, which we'll talk about towards the end of the video. But overall, the equipment dungeons are good. I just wish that they increase the amount of forge materials that they drop. That's, my one thing. So the Forbidden Dungeon, I actually think is fine. The only thing that's crappy about it is they do sell tickets for people to kind of rush, for the end to get the rewards. I don't like that. I think that's kind of a crummy thing. But hey, to each their own, I guess. So yeah, not a huge fan of that. But overall, I think the Forbidden Dungeon is a great mechanic. I like games that have those tower modes where you get rewards each season. It's really cool. I think they've done a good job with that. One minor gripe on the favorite dungeons. I hate when games lock this stuff. I don't know why it's locked. Just unlock everything. It costs energy. You should be able to pick and choose which heroes you want to, focus on in regards to those statues to awaken them. I don't know why games do this. It's such a big frustration. I understand that they're all unlocked on Sunday, but still, it's just like, what's the point of that? I don't get it. All right. Sealed Temple. This is the biggest gripe, I think, amongst players, and they said they were going to change this. I just don't know what it's going to be. But I think an extremely simple change to the Sealed Temple is to have 5 daily entries in each level. That's so logical, right? Like, it's so logical. I don't understand why it is the way it is, like why you have to pick. I think their thought process was, start on this one, get your heroes' skills leveled up, and then eventually farm this. But with the amount of items you need, again, I think they're so off base with how long people are willing to progress on certain content before they'll get bored. It's just like, I'm going to farm Master of Death 10 for 4 years, and then once I have everyone leveled up, then I can start on this. That's enough time. That's how long I want to farm Master of Death 10. So yeah, 5 entries each level, I think, would be huge. If they don't want to do that, they 100% need to get rid of these lower talisman drops. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, having the chance to drop 30 of the common talismans on stage 10 is a crime. I don't know why that's there. The uncommons and commons should be gone from stage 10 if you want to have, uncommons drop on 9 and commons drop on like 8, whatever. But you should eventually be able to get rid of them. And then if you want to farm them, you can choose to do the lower stages. I don't understand why they do that. So getting rid of those, or something else that they could do is they could add it to the Mage Tower. I think this is a big opportunity right now. You only have 2 things that you can scale up to. They should add all of the materials in here. They should add talismans. They should add books. So if you have uncommon books, you can eventually synthesize up to a rare book or up to a legendary book with all of your rare books. Same thing with relic breaths. You can take all of those common relic breaths and scale them up to the rares, mythics, whatever. I don't know why that isn't an option here, and it's only 2 of the materials that you tend to get a lot of. So yeah, those are the things that I think can certainly be done to Sealed Temple, and pretty easy changes too. And then last but not least are the heroes. So I think the heroes in this game are really cool. The designs are great. I think the art is amazing. However, I think it's very apparent that Bedivere, Morgan, and Jillian are so strong that if you have those 3 heroes, you can basically clear all content. Equipment depending, maybe 1 or 2 areas like Gorgos where it just doesn't work. But they're going to go in almost every single team, and they're going to be the core 3 to get you through, like I said, 90% of the content. Where other heroes, they don't do enough. They're not strong enough. They don't have enough damage, like with Bedivere. They don't offer enough like Morgan does. I think it's great that Morgan is a free hero. Like she's the best legendary. The fact that they give you her for free is amazing. And I don't want them to nerf her. That's not what I want. I just think that they need to increase the value of the other legendaries that just aren't really used. Claudus, for example. When I put out my Claudus video 2 days ago, I got a little bit of crap because I think people were saying that I thought she was amazing. I was just trying to say, like, she can be useful if you pull her. She is way, way worse than the Jillian, Bedivere, Morgans of the world. But not everybody pulls those. So that's why I was kind of mentioning just where she could be used. But she certainly needs a buff. Merlin, very good. Probably doesn't need a buff, but still, like, his application in regards to what he does versus the Morgans of the world is just so much less value. It's insane. And I don't know if it's because the bosses are too difficult or if, just the multipliers on your heroes doesn't seem to work up enough, but you need Morgan to actually create damage. So, like, throwing in a Merlin over Morgan is just like, okay, how do I fit in Merlin into this team? And maybe he's just that fourth slot outside of the Jillian, Morgan, Bedivere trio. But other than that, yeah, I'd like to see them continue to rebalance heroes. I hate nerfs. I do not want them to nerf people, but I just want them to, increase the power level of some of these legendaries, because once you have those three, it's not really worth it. And then the last thing is, I really, really want them to start including more rares and uncommons as well. I don't want them to just keep adding legendaries, as a money grab. That would be very frustrating. They've added 2 new legendaries, and I think they've done it in a timely fashion, but there should be a big patch release where they, released 3 rares, or maybe 2 rares and 3 uncommons with 1 legendary. Like, that'd be really cool. I would love for them to do that. As the game progresses, it probably will be the other way around, like 2 new legendaries, 1 rare and 1 uncommon or whatever. But I think they still need to give solid options to, the free-to-play, low-spender players on the uncommon and rare side, and not just, keep pumping out legendaries. But anyway, guys, that's the list of things that I would really love to see done in the game. I think it's great so far. I'm really enjoying it, but there's always room for improvement. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you like my list? Do you think it's absolutely garbage? What would you change? So anyway, that's all I got for you today. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.